Let's do some PUBG recap reviewing today. So today is Friday, November 3rd, and PUBG just dropped a PUBG Care Package Episode 2. This is their development, dev letter, dev talk review, kind of get an insight behind the scenes to the developers as to what they're changing, what they're planning on changing, and why they're making those changes. On this part 2, it's a episode 2, it's 2 parts. Part 1 and 2 will go over both, and this one is going to be going over gunplay, test server, map rotation, tactical gear, and more. Let's jump in. Let's go ahead and jump through each one, and then let's see what's what. All right, gunplay balance at 1 minute 22 seconds. Let's go. I gotta have okay, subtitles have to be on. So they're talking about the AUG nerf. The AUG nerf is in the test server, so it'll be on live next week. So they're saying they got mixed feedback from the previous September nerf. Looking at metrics, AUG usability was down. Okay. Their internal metrics, here we go. The pickup rate is up to 28%. And the win rate is still high. 53% win rate with the AUG. The AUG is positioned too good of the gun, so they're going to nerf it. Instead of waiting longer, they decided to nerf it quickly. So talking about the rate of fire, rounds per minute. They didn't say they were going to change any of that now. All they currently said, let me pause for a second. All they've currently said, if you haven't watched the patch notes review that we did, the AUG next week on live servers is going to have increased recoil, both in the vertical and the horizontal recoil. And when you're crouched, it'll have increased recoil as well. Now they're going to talk about the Dragunov buff. The Dragunov is going to be quicker to have shots in between rounds. So increased rate of fire and increased stability between shots. So let's see why they're doing it. Inside of 105 meters, technically, but that's okay. 335 meters if you have a level 1 helmet. Internal metrics proved that it's not that much of an OP gun. The win rate was not good, and people were dropping the gun. So here's the classic DMR screen, monthly kill rates. This is the Mark 12 here on the right. Mini 14, garbage, worst gun in the game. SLR. SKS is actually almost even with the Mini 14. That's very surprising. Dragunov at only 9%, and then others. What the hell, what other DMRs even are there? I guess VSS, that counts as a DMR. QBU. What was this other thing? This other one was win rates. So this is the 50% line. 50% of the win rates. So Mark 12 has like a 53 or 54% win rate. Mini 14 is less than 50. SLR is like 51 or 50 point something. SKS is poo-poo. Dragunov had a lower win rate than the SKS. That is interesting. But, you know, these metrics, it only tells us a certain part of the story. It only tells a certain part of the story. These metrics don't show the whole story. So I'm wondering if they're not acting a little prematurely here. But that's okay. Let's see. So they were told by the pros. Okay, that's it? Okay, I thought they were going to go into more detail. Basically, the short and sweet is they were told by the pro players that the Dragunov was in a good spot. Don't touch it. It had really good damage numbers, but it was hard to control and hard to get that rate of fire, that balance properly. So don't touch it. They heard that feedback, then looked at their internal metrics, which is this graph here. This is their internal metrics, and they're showing that, yeah, most people aren't even using this. Here's why I think there's a problem with this graph, with these internal metrics. They're comparing the Dragunov to every other DMR. And on the face value, you might think, well, duh, that's what they're supposed to do. But I think no. The Dragunov was supposed to be a hybrid DMR bolty. So it was kind of going to be the best of both worlds, the best of bolts and the best of DMR. So I think they should also be looking at what are the monthly kill rates and monthly win rates of the Dragunov compared to the bolt action sniper rifles. Because I think if you did that comparison, you'll probably be surprised to see that most people would pick up the Dragunov over a bolt in the current meta. And that, I think, means the gun is in a good place, because it's supposed to be not the best DMR. It's supposed to be a good DMR, which it is, but it's also supposed to be a good substitute for a bolt action sniper rifle. So I think taking that big picture approach would have been the better route, and maybe would have shown you that the gun is doing better than what these couple graphs show. But I mean, we'll see how it plays. I don't know. Next up is map rotation. Let's see what we got. You guys are gonna really crack up when you see one of these graphs coming up about map rotation. I saw one on Twitter. So they're talking about the different regions map preferences. For example, right now in NA, they want to remove Sanhok. Yes, bro, we've been saying this for decades. Get it out. Paramo, Karakin, all of them. And in Korea, players that play Sanhok, they want to keep it, and they play Taego more. That's what they talk about. Okay, so there's a divide. That's okay. Have different map preferences for each region. Working on a plan where we can rotate the maps differently for each region and customize them for each region in the near future. Look at this. Yo, look at this. Make it love to the B. Yeah. Make it love to the B. G-Tuck, thank you for the gifted sub to old man Scribby Dibby. Yo, 19 is in a dome with a prime time for 5 months as well. Welcome back to the dome, 19. And G-Tuck, thank you for the gifted sub. Yo, Scrib, show some love to your boy. Thank you guys very much for that. Check this out. And look, my head's blocking this, so just hear me, okay? Hear me. This top row is Asia. This is the map preference in order. Map preference in order. There's, for Asia, they like Erangel the most. Then Sanhok is Asia's #2 map preference. Erangel, then Sanhok. So now you understand why Sanhok is in every map rotation. Erangel, Sanhok, Miramar, Taego, Vikindi, Karakin, Paramo, Destin. Asia hates Destin. That's surprising to me. That is surprising to me. Then we have Korea and Japan. Is Sanhok is their favorite, followed by Erangel, Taego, Miramar, Vikindi, Destin, Karakin, Paramo. Kakao is Sanhok, Taego, Erangel, Vikindi, Miramar, Karakin, Paramo, Destin. SEA is Erangel, Sanhok. How is everyone liking Sanhok this much? Miramar, Karakin, Taego, Paramo, Vikindi, Destin. Then in the next page, they're going to show you North America and EU. So just wait. It's hard for them to give us all the data right now. There's a little bit of a difference between Asia and the West. You don't say. All right, here we go. So now North America up top. Our map preference as a region is Erangel. Taego is the #2 most liked map in North America. I would not have guessed that. Vikindi, which is actually a fantastic map if they just fix the thermal scopes and the overabundance of level 3 gear. And maybe one would argue the snowstorm. I know a lot of y'all don't like that too. But the map design itself is literally A1. It's a great design map. Erangel, Taego, Vikindi, Destin, Miramar. I'm shocked to see Miramar that low. Sanhok, Paramo, Karakin. What do you know? All of the small maps, nobody wants to play them in North America. That's what we've been saying. Thank you. The data shows that. Good. It's not just a small little minority of people in North America saying that. That's on the whole, the data shows that. EU, they like Taego the most. Taego, Erangel, Vikindi, Miramar, Destin, Sanhok, Paramo, Karakin. RU, I guess it's Russia. Taego, Erangel, Vikindi, Miramar, Destin, Sanhok. I mean, you guys can read. OC, their top 3 is Taego, Erangel, Vikindi. SA is Taego, Erangel, Miramar. I'm glad they put that stat out. I just hope they do something with that. Like, okay, now that you know that, let's not force the regions that don't want to play those, whatever maps they are, don't force them to play it every week. That'd be nice. We're currently running the map rotation cycle once a week. Is it better to make this shorter or longer? Well, definitely not shorter, bro. 1 week's as short as you can make it. I'm wondering if they're going to say where the data is coming from. I'm assuming the data is coming from like the maps that are played through the most versus maps that are like backed out and that kind of stuff. When or how are these plans progressing and being finalized? So I guess we're talking about the map rotations. We're going to service maps in each region to meet this preference. We already have a plan. And my plan right now is to implement those things quickly. In the first half of next year, the first half, that could be like June of next year. That's a long time from now. Yo, Joser, thanks for the gift of sub, baby. Yo, B-Max, enjoy your gift of sub. Shout outs, Joser. Thank you, man. First half of next year is not quickly. Can we agree? The first half of next year is not quickly. And he specifically said we're going to quickly implement these changes. That's wild. It's a little bit too hard for us because different regions have different map preferences. Yeah, we understand that. Different individuals had different map preferences. That's all right. We got it. Yeah, look, you're not going to please everybody. Like I'm not suggesting that you remove all small maps from North America just because the majority of players want all small maps gone. I know there's still players that like the smaller maps, but you have to consider all of the options, in my opinion. Maybe only have one small map in the rotation each week. That'd be an easier solution instead of 2 small maps. The other solution is, hey, you guys spent all this time, all these resources to make that intense battle royale mode. That intense battle royale mode basically is a small map. It's designed for the people who want fast-paced action and, low in-between dull moments. Play that mode. Play that mode. We're focused on fast matchmaking and being able to play the game quickly. If we open up all the maps, it's going to slow everything down. Yeah, I mean, it's going to be slower, but, if the players are more happy, what's the trade-off, What's the trade-off there? I don't know. Yo, Gangsta, thank you so much for the 100 biddies, man. Appreciate it. All. What's up, buddy? Happy Friday in the Dome. So currently, map rotations are going to stay this way. And I think you've indicated that you're thinking about it. No, he indicated that they're quickly going to change it within the first half of next year. It would be better for them to... Wait, say that sentence again? In terms of map preferences, rather than changing map rotation, I think it would be better for us to improve map completeness. I know there's a language barrier here. I'm taking that sentence as, instead of cycling different map preferences, let's make the maps that people don't want to play better.
To many more, Mr. Dome. Thank you for your videos and help to the community.
Yo, shout out Bester. Thank you so much for the prime and the love, man. Welcome back to the Dome. Enjoy your emotes and your ad-free grouching experience here. Thank you so much, man. Appreciate you, dude. All right, test server, what's up? Last time you were talking about the test server, you mentioned you were going to restructure tactical gear, the tactical gear carrier. They added it and then took it out. Okay, so what's up with the test server and the tactical gear? I'm actually kind of bummed. It means we've already taken them out of live server. This time we applied it to test server first, which it wasn't our intention to put that live right away. Well, good, it shouldn't. That's the point of a test server, is to test things. And after that, they were going to improve it again and then post it to the test server. Okay. So their original plan was to keep iterating on the tactical gear until they found that was in a good spot, then put it in. The players thought it would go to the live server if it's applied to the test server. Well, rather than giving feedback, the players said absolutely no. That is feedback, bro. Bro, that's feedback. If players say, no, don't put it in, that means it's not good. That's the feedback. So we haven't gotten enough feedback regarding this improvement. They're capping. They're actually, no, he's trolling me right now. They haven't gotten good feedback? What? There's no way he's being serious with that. There's no way. There was so much feedback. I'm putting some music on in the background since it's not English anyway, so I'm just gonna have music in the background, then I'll just read the subtitles. Plans for the test server going forward. Our test server is going to have between 100 and 200 players unless we get a new map or something. Is that all? Wow. Look at that stat. I'm actually surprised they shared that. Number of players in the test server. This is a weird stat. 100% if there's a major update in a new map. So like when the new Erangel or the new Miramar map update came out, there was 100% more players in the test server. If there is no major update, like now, the AUG and the Dragunov is the only thing being changed, there's 75% less players in the test server. So he's saying that no one plays it. It's lost a lot of its meaning. Yes, it has. Don't you dare say you're going to remove it, though. They're thinking about using the test server as a way... What? Read this sentence. We're thinking about using the test server as a way to actually test certain content or things that we think are important. Holy shit. They figured it out. 7 years later, they figured out what to use the test server for. No shot. We're just putting everything that's on the test server into live server. Yeah, no shit. What? Yeah, it's a good point. Did they just not like the feedback or what? Okay, I'm getting worked up for no reason. It would be nice if they can open up the test servers for a bit longer and have more time for feedback. Yeah, that makes sense. Instead of just 1 week. Yeah, that makes sense. I mean, honestly, keep the test server open unless it costs too much to maintain it. But, like nobody's going to play a test server unless there's new stuff on it anyway. That's wild. So I would expect that they're going to take away the test server. Look, get rid of the test servers that run periodically. They're going to open up the test server when they have like new features in the game. They're going to have to uninstall and reinstall the main game. Or they're saying if it's too large of a file size. I mean, they could just have the bare minimum in the test server, you know? Have one map on the test server, have no store. They could really simplify it. Yes, casual modes, more casual modes, please. Recall system. Holy shit, let's go. There are also some comments regarding the respawn system, aka the blue chip tower, aka the comeback BR, aka the one that's only on 4 of the maps out of 8 or 10 maps now, aka there's 2 different versions of the comeback BR, aka 3 different variants that haven't been touched in a year and a half, aka some maps don't have anything at all. What are your comments on that little bit of feedback? There are some people that don't know about it. There are a lot of situations or environments where it's not easy to use the blue chip tower. Well, it's not meant to be easy, bro, but okay. I can't wait to hear their feedback here. The resurgence is tricky. It's a global service, so people from different regions have different thoughts on it. Actually, the most interest in respawn is North America and Europe. Yes, that's why it hasn't been touched in over a year and a half. We understand. If Asia wanted the revive system fixed, it'd be done. They want the respawn system itself to be implemented to every map. Yeah, who doesn't? Why don't you? But the rest of the world is not particularly interested in the respawn thing. Really? Is it that hated? So we're trying to figure out if we should add this a little bit more or lessen it. What do you mean? The developer himself says it has a positive. He likes it. It's hard to use though. We'd love to hear them. Please leave them in the comment. Bro, we've been saying our feedback for over a year. That's it? We're moving on to the next topic? Bro, okay. All right, so kind of as I assumed, the revive system hasn't been touched because the larger regions don't care for it. So that's kind of what you assumed. Okay. I'm going to provide feedback in the comment section. Sandstorm and Blizzard Zone. Okay, I personally don't have a problem with either one of these. I think they could be tweaked, but I think they add a fun element to the game. Let's see what the global sentiment feedback is and how PUBG's going to address it. I want to see the stats. Show me on the map the percentage of regions that don't like revive system and that do. Show me, because they showed us the percentages for everything else. But like, yo, but my opinion, I'm gonna leave it at this on the revive system is, why half-ass it? Either do it properly or don't. They've been doing it the wrong way for about 2.5 or 3 years. They tried to reinvent the wheel 3 different times and then left it broken on the ground. Like, what are we doing? If you actually just did it properly the first time, maybe the global sentiment would be different by now. But instead of having 6 different revive systems on 10 different maps, solidify the shit, make it simple and easy, take the best of both worlds from every other competitor that's out there, take the best of what they do and stick it in your game, leave it there for 6 months, and then get some proper feedback. No one's going to give you genuine, positive, accurate feedback when you have this mix match hodgepodge of a revive system that you want to call it in the game. That, like, what are we talking about? All right, Blizzard Zone and Sandstorm. Esports wants it out. They definitely don't want it after phase 5. I'm good with that. Take it out after phase 5. Reduce the frequency after phase 5. They're going to shorten the duration and reduce the frequency. You should also remove the red zone. Yeah. Did y'all see on Twitter yesterday or the day before, Dr. Disrespect was gracing PUBG's presence by streaming their video game again to, you know, thousands and thousands of viewers. And he was driving his vehicle. A bot started shooting at the dock. So he gets out and is looking for this bot. He can't find the bot because the bot has LOS through trees because a bot is cheating. And so the bot's behind a tree. So Doc can't find the bot because the bot can just shoot you through a tree, which has never been a fun mechanic. So why are bots still in the game? But that's one thing. Then he's looking for the bot and all of a sudden a red zone kills him. And PUBG had the audacity to retweet his tweet with a laugh emoji. I get you want to have like a fun social media impact. Like I'm on board with that. Let's all troll each other. But like also let's like look in the mirror and be like, why is this stupid feature still in the game 7 years into the game's development when people don't want it? There's no way they can pull up a regional statistic and show me that any region is in love with the red zone. Not one. Take it out. Take it out. Sorry, but I think it's cool. You think it's cool to get killed by a random projectile that you have no control over dodging or interacting with? You think that's cool? You know what's cool? I'll tell you what's cool. You play Karakin when they introduced that map 3 years ago and they had the black zone, and you would actually see big missiles coming down, raining from the sky. You could physically see the missile coming, and you had to dodge it last minute, get out the building real quick, boom, and it blew the building up in smoke and boulders and everything smoldering, and you could run back in the building for cover. That was cool. A red zone that deafens you and strikes at random locations and sometimes kills you, sometimes doesn't, and sometimes knocks you and sometimes flushes you right after that, like lightning strikes twice. That ain't cool. Not at all. And it's even more not cool because they have the tech. They have the ability to make it a fun mechanic. It's not like they're like, oh, we just don't know how to make it better. We're struggling. No, they've shown us they know how to make it better. So get rid of it. Shouldn't be in the game anymore. Wait, I just missed that. You can hide in buildings now? Wait a minute. Hold on. Sorry, I was ranting for a second. So they're going to reduce the frequency of the zones or the snowstorm and stuff. Limit it after phase 5. And then they're going to reduce or remove the damage in a house? Is that what I'm seeing here? Even if it's inside, some players said it's been uncomfortable, so to speak. A lot of comments about that. Okay, so we've been working internally to see if it's actually possible. To see if it's possible, and I probably talked about that one before. We can't apply this in every building. We talked about how it's not going to be easy because we have to figure out if this is a building or not, so we can't get rid of the effect, the blinding effect. But we find a way to get rid of the damages inside. Oh, okay, this is never happening. Okay, see, again, this is the language barrier. This right here, he's the lead developer of PUBG right now. What he just said is we're trying to see if it's possible to have certain buildings programmed to where you don't take damage inside of the building. That's what he just said. Then this guy over here on the left is now like stating it as a fact that now you won't get damage if you're in a building. Now I have the opportunity to avoid taking damage in a building. So what I'm taking from that is that they still don't have it figured out yet. They're trying to reduce or remove damage in most of the buildings for Blizzard Zone and Sandstorm. Which I mean, I don't know. I thought that was kind of the fun part about the Sandstorm and Blizzard is that you couldn't just camp in a building and sit around and wait like you could with the red zone. All right, now we're on the 4x thermal scope, aka the cheat hack scope. Please God, tell me they just removed it. Like they would make Vikendi 90% better if they just said, hey, look, we can't figure it out yet. We're going to remove it for now. We'll add it back later. I like when they say global users. Do they mean just the big people? Or do they mean globally the sentiment is the same? Reducing the spawn rate doesn't fix it. Reducing the spawn rate makes it worse. Putting them in certain locations makes it worse. Only a select few people have the broken scope, which is what they did. Yes, remove them. They don't work. You think it's a little bit of a head scratcher. There were some reactions that, oh, this is new. Thermoscopes are fun. Nothing's been decided. No decisions have been taken yet. What? The player sentiment is moving towards what? Removing it completely. And we're thinking about it internally. What are we thinking about? Bro, the thermal scope, when it was originally introduced two and a half years ago, it was, what's up, Born Again? Yo, good to see you, buddy. It was originally introduced on night mode Vikendi. The whole point of it, yo, later pants, have a great day at work, buddy. Take care. The whole point of it was that you had a nighttime mode Vikendi. And then you had this special thermal scope to help you navigate the night mode. That was a cool feature to add in the game. But then it went from that to the thermal scope now works in daytime and nighttime mode. Oh, and you can shoot through smoke grenades. Like, the problem is that it shoots through smoke grenades. If they literally fix that, nobody would be pissed off about it. Well, I'm sure some people would, but the majority of players would not. The fact that you can attach it to your automatic spray weapon or sniper and spray through a smoke grenade breaks the game. It shouldn't be that hard to understand internally. I don't get how they're still internally discussing that. That's like a game breaking mechanic. PUBG revolves around utility, the use of your utility, making tactical decisions based on your cover on the hill, and then creating your own cover with smoke grenades. If they have thermal that allows you to see through a smoke grenade, then you break that whole part of the game. That should not be that difficult of a concept to understand. And then even more so, you just said yourself, all of the sentiment is going towards that, yet they haven't made any changes yet. Like, the fact that the sentiment is that far moving to everybody wanting it gone, just take it out. Let's take it out. Let's fix it. And let's put it back in. Don't keep it in broken and then maybe do something in 6 months. Take it out. Let's regroup. How can we make it better? How can we make it fun? Then we add it back. Don't leave it in if it's broken. Like, look what they did with the AUG. They just talked about AUG changes. They made 2 AUG nerfs in the past 2 months. You obviously can do something quickly. What are we doing? This is game breaking. I don't get it, man. Like, the thermal scope's fun. It's a fun item. Make it fun. Remove the broken part of it about being thermal hacks through smokes, and then it's good. We'd love to get some feedback, and we'd love to try to communicate with you. Well, I mean, look, I'm speaking for myself. I appreciate when they do stuff like this. When they do these dev talks, these Q&As, I appreciate when they do stuff like that, because it is good. It's nice to hear behind the wall discussions. It's nice to hear about, hey, internally, this is what we've been going through back and forth. It's nice to see that. It's nice to see the data when they show the graphs on, hey, look, this is kind of why we made the decision. You may not agree with it, but this is what we're seeing. This is kind of why we're going that way. Then take our feedback with obvious stuff and make quick, swift adjustments, you know? Like the recall system. There's literally there'll be 10 maps in PUBG. They have maps that have no revive system. They have maps that have comeback BR. Then they have maps that have comeback BR 2.0. Then they have maps that have blue chip revive system. There's 4 different opportunities of potential revivals in 10 maps. Of those 10 maps, 5 maps are in rotation every week. So it's way too convoluted. We gotta consolidate. All right, that's part 1 of episode 2. We're about to jump into part 2 of episode 2. What are they gonna be talking about here? Anti-cheat. Is that it? This one's all about anti-cheat? Okay, let's take a look. Yeah, listen, just because the thermal scope is realistic with the smoke grenade doesn't mean it's fun. Permanent ban accounts. Whoa, let's see what we got. The first half of this year, they banned 1.7 million accounts. But CDome, I still get cheaters in every game, bro. Look, they're banning people. Okay, what do you want me to say? They're banning people. That's a lot. That's a lot of accounts that are being banned. It's up 39%. They've banned an additional 39% of players. Good. That's a lot of players. Get them out. Get them out. That's part of their new anti-cheat system. Zakynthos is their anti-cheat system. Here, Zakynthos. That's their anti-cheat system. Make all smokes thermal. Yes. Yeah, that'd be fine. That would be fine. I'm telling you, man, the thing that they need to do the thermal scope is so small. It's such a small change. Obviously the programming side of it might not be that easy to accomplish, but like to make the thermal scope okay in the game is such a small tweak. You literally make it where you can no longer shoot through smoke grenades, and like it's okay. Is it still going to be really strong? Yeah, of course, but it's okay at that point. They're talking about hardware bans, blocking IPs. Developed and deployed hardware banning solution in May 21. They use a third-party hardware ban system prior to Zakynthos. Now they've changed it into where Zakynthos can do hardware banning. So yeah, to confirm, they do hardware banning. We do hardware bans for a period of time or temporary bans depending on the conditions. Interesting. I didn't know they do hardware bans temporarily. That's interesting. I didn't know that. Cheaters are trying to get around it, of course. They're still improving their system, of course. I mean, yeah. Anti-ESP and cheated on console. Oh, I know a lot of you console players would love to see this. Oh, hold on, there's a graph. Let me go to the graph. Then we'll go to that part of the video. Percentage of suspected cheaters in ranked matches. November 2022. It spiked up and then went down. Went down significantly now. Oh, this is when they did their own hardware ban. This is when they implemented the Zakynthos improvement. So it's working if you look at the statistics. Monthly in-game report accounts for ranked. They've gone down. That either means A, there's less cheaters, or B, people are caring less about reporting. Just putting it out there. It's one of two. What is this? Oh, they're showing some illegal software. God, look at this. Look at this shit, dude. Look at this shit. What? Oh, look at that. Okay. that mortar cheat, at first I thought that was a bug. I don't know, it was a cheat. Number one. Number two, that's actually cool. I would argue they should leave that in the game. That should be a care package. Like in the care package, you should get a mortar that has like 20 shots, but it's rapid fire. It's literally artillery strike. That's actually really cool. The guided bullet that you mentioned was in 2018. Guided bullet. Wow. They had the freaking curved bullet thing. That's hilarious, dude. Okay. Anti-ESP and console. Let's take a look. I know a lot of y'all are going to be interested in this. What do you think of the glider? I love the glider. What do you mean? What's up, Crip? Yeah, Cynthia Boo, it's happened. They're actively doing all these things. What's up, Shardad? Hey, congrats to your Steelers, man. Pistola, that's what I say. Whenever I die in a video game, cheater. Ain't no way he's legit. Ain't no way he's legit. A strategy simulation game called Fog of War. Wait, are they plugging their new game? Kills or dead by knockout for cheaters have been reduced. But about Fog of War, it's really hard for players. Like Fog of War, I'm familiar with that from like an RTS game. Okay, what we got? You can see when the opponent is no longer in cover, you'll be able to see them. After a while, you won't be able to see them anymore. Okay. Oh, got you. Interesting. That's actually interesting that they've implemented that. So what they're showing you is that on a cheater's account, if they have an ESP cheat, they would see you through the wall, right? They would see you through a rock or a wall or a mountain. They could see you across the map. But Fog of War means the further away you are from an enemy, once they break LOS at a certain distance, the game will no longer detect that player there. So the cheating software will also no longer detect that player there. So you get closer, now you got the box around them, and now you're still cheating and you get the win, you know, you can see them. But that's actually interesting that they implemented that on an FPS, because I'm familiar with that system on an RTS shooter or RTS top-down game. Yeah, the Fog of War is preventing far away through wall shots. So you'll still get killed close range, but you won't get killed long range by an ESP cheat, which, you know, hey, better than nothing, right? ESP cheaters had to get about 70% closer to their target. Jesus. What about the illegal, I was gonna say illegal hardware, not software, like the Chronos. Keyboards and mouse that aren't devices that it can be used on console. Yes, okay. Do you have any solutions? Let's hear it. I don't think they can do anything about it, huh? I think it's a Microsoft issue. It's definitely subject to a ban. They're working on bans. It's not enough yet. Working on a plan to make sure it can detect more hardware. Oh, so that they can detect it. Okay. Oh, that's it? That's all they got? I mean, I know that Microsoft recently said that they're working on a detection system for external or third-party hardware, like Chronos, that kind of stuff. So I guess they're working on it. What's next? Anything else we want to cover? Concluding today's announcement. Let's see it. What's the recap? Nobody has access to PUBG's code. You sure about that? You sure about that? Yeah, there's a conspiracy that PUBG developers are selling their code to cheat developers for money. That's silly. That's what they're talking about right now. Is the PUBG Talk 2 code still working? No, I don't believe so. I think it expired earlier this morning. I think there might be another code I need to try, actually. There are no lenses in his glasses. What? This guy? He's got fake glasses on? No, I'm sure he's got lenses in there. Don't be silly. Bro, my man's got real glasses. You think it's fake? Oh, it's common in Korea? Oh, okay. It's like a style thing then. All right. Do you, boo-boo. Do you. All right. Okay, so that's about what I would expect to see on an anti-cheat update. Basically them showing you some graphs, saying, hey, look, trust us. We are working on anti-cheat. It's working. The changes that we're making, we're showing, you know, 1.7 million accounts banned. So to answer everyone's burning question, what are they doing about cheaters? You know, hey, they're doing this. Is it enough for your opinion? I mean, I don't know, you can make that decision yourself, but you know, it's obvious that they are actively working on it. But it's never going to be a done thing though. You know, it's never going to be like, all right, that's it, cheaters are done. Like the cheating companies are constantly in development to make new cheats. That's their business model. Chat, give me your thoughts. Give me your thoughts. What are you thinking about the PUBG Dev Talk? Let's do just a quick high-level recap. High-level recap of the PUBG Dev Talk. Gunplay Balances. Unfortunately, in this part of the video, all they talked about was the AUG and the Dragunov. They talked about why they made the AUG changes and why they made the Dragunov changes. They didn't talk about SMGs or shotguns or other gun changes or improving the lower quality guns and making them better, like the SCAR, the AK, nothing like. They didn't talk about anything like that. Just the AUG and the Dragunov. My opinion on that is I think the Mark 12 is still going to be the dominant DMR for a number of reasons. Number one, it's 5.56, so the bullets are going to travel faster. They're going to weigh less in your ammo capacity, which leaves room for more utility. Number two, it's an easier weapon to shoot. You can shoot it faster, quicker, more consistently. And number three, it means that you can carry a 5.56 AR, which again is going to have 5.56 ammo, less ammo in your backpack, faster bullet velocity on the 5.56 guns. Then they made the AUG change to potentially counteract that. And all that's going to do, I think, is either have people pick up the M4 because it might be more consistent, or they're just going to tough it out with the AUG and deal with more recoil. The Dragunov, I don't think needed the change. I think it was in a good spot where it was. It's not supposed to be the dominant DMR, in my opinion. It's supposed to be the hybrid DMR. The DMR that's great for snipers and that's great for a DMR player. The map rotation, I was blown away by this part of the video. When they actually showed the statistic of map preferences by region, this was wild to me that so many regions actually prefer Sandhawk. Asia has Sandhawk as number 2. Korea, Japan, Sandhawk number 1. Cacao, Sandhawk number 1. SEA, Sandhawk number 2. So that's why Sandhawk is around for as long as it has been. Now in our regions, North America, the small maps are at the bottom. EU, the small maps are at the bottom. RU, the small maps are at the bottom. OC, the small maps are at the bottom. But the problem is our regions are this big compared to the larger regions that really love that map. So I would love for them to implement region-specific map rotations and stop forcing us to clearly play maps that we, as a collective group, don't want to play. That would be nice. Recall system. They literally, all they said about the recall system, this is probably the most frustrating thing for me. All they said was, hey, if you are in a region that likes the recall system, you're in a very small region. Spoiler alert. So not that we don't care about your opinion. It's just that it doesn't hold enough weight for us to make any changes extremely fast. And we still ourselves don't have a clear direction of what the hell we're doing with the revive system. They literally said we don't know what to do yet. So they're either A, gonna completely scrap every revive system in PUBG and go back to a bare bones no revive system, which, you know, maybe that's best instead of having 7 different things in the game. Or B, they're gonna make another iteration to the revive system and maybe add it to other maps. I don't know. It just that frustrates me the most, because I thought the revive system was one of the best things they've added in PUBG since it went free to play, since even before that. And it seems like such an obvious thing for them to get right, especially because so many other games do it well and they can just copy pasta the best of both worlds from any other game they want to look at, instead of trying to reinvent the wheel and leaving it stagnant for 6 months. So I really hope they do something with that ASAP. The obvious solution to me is to keep the blue chip revive system, add it to all maps, shorten the amount of time that it takes to have a teammate come back from the blue chip revive, and then you're good. Send it. That's my opinion. Sandstorm and Blizzard Zone recap. So they talked about reducing the amount of snowstorms or blizzards or sandstorms after phase 5 and reducing their duration so that they last shorter amount of times. They talked about removing the damage that you could potentially take inside of a building. That's not in the game yet, but that's what they're working on, is when you get in a building, you can just hide and camp in a building and not take any damage, which is kind of the whole point of why they made you still take damage in a building. They specifically said so that you couldn't just hide in a building, and now they're going back and going, well, maybe you would just want to hide in a building. So yeah, that's coming. Maybe red zone's still in the game. They still think the red zone's a good feature, I guess. Thermal scope. They realize it's broken. They are going to keep it as a rare item as is, which makes it even more broken because only fewer people have the broken scope, and they still aren't clear on what to do going forward, which again is wild to me that they don't have a path forward. I just feel like the consensus in this whole dev letter has been question marks. Like it just seems like the lead developer in charge is either getting pulled in multiple directions or he himself doesn't have a clear direction on what he wants to do. And it's just kind of frustrating. The thermal scope, how to fix it. You want a quick tip? Here's how to fix the thermal scope. Make it to where you can't shoot through smoke grenades. That's it. That's the tip. It's fixed. You literally make the thermal scope not shoot through smoke grenades. 90% of your complaints go away and you can live life happily and Vikendi can be in rotation. Okay, so that's it. That's a quick recap of the video in case you wanted to skip to the end of this video. If you did enjoy it, leave it a like, comment down below, and get subscribed for more PUBG news, tips, and tricks. And don't forget, use creator code CDome at the store if you're going to be a dum-dum like me. Scrouch.